There's one person, it's my Uncle Mike. A million years ago, I was probably, I'm gonna say maybe 5, 6 years old. He had moved down from Chicago and he was, had a chopper. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was what he calls a Beezer, but a BSA, chopped out, all that stuff, simplified, very stereotypical 60s, biker era. And he would come by and pick me up. And I would run out there barefoot, and my great aunt, rest her soul, she would yell at me, "Put some shoes on," because I'd be running out there. I was excited because he was coming by, and he would pick me up and sit me on the back of the bike, and we'd go cruising, around town. There's a lot of gravel and stuff, but there was long stretches of road and a lot of grass and open field in this in a small town in Texas, cows and all that stuff. And as a child, I mean, it was just amazing. It was just a great feeling. So I tell my mother, you can blame your brother for getting me hooked on this, I said, because this, it's something that I'm just in love with it, Probably a few years later, and I remember I kept bothering him to teach me how to ride. He had like a little, I believe it was like a Honda 120 something, and he said, "Okay, but don't tell your mother about that." I said, "Okay." So he sat me, on the bike. I was about 9 years old, maybe. And he's explaining the clutch, all this. He said, "But keep it in first. Don't worry about anything else. We'll figure that out." And he sat on the back of the bike. And I remember telling him, "All right, but don't get off. Make sure you ride with me." And he said, "Yeah. Don't worry about it. Now let the clutch out." As soon as the bike took off, he just jumped off the back of the seat. I'm like, "Uncle Mike," and he's like, "Keep going, keep going." He's laughing. I thought I was doing 100 miles an hour in first gear all the way around the block, and I just kept going around the block, and I'm like, sitting there. He basically had to, if I remember correctly, he had to like come by the street because I just didn't want to pull over. I kept going. And at that moment, I still remember that feeling that I'm awesome. I am awesome because I ride a motorcycle now. It's cheaper than a therapist. I will say that. I'm going to say that my love, it just simply cannot be broken. I had a terrible motorcycle accident in Chicago on that Honda where I scraped the entire side of my face on the sidewalk going about 30 miles an hour, and that's pretty fast. Clavicle bone almost, got separated. And a week later, I was buying a helmet, and my mother was losing her mind. "I can't believe you're gonna get on a bike, this and that." I wasn't trying to prove anything. It's something that's in here that it's just there. It's part of everything. It's like breathing. When I go, sometimes I'll go moments. I've been without a bike for 2 weeks. I'm losing my mind already. You know what I mean? I firmly believe that they all have a certain personality. Their characteristics, I refer to them as personalities, kind of like the Triumph that I had. It seemed very almost white glove, kind of, nice, real smooth, all that. When I owned my Buell XBs, it was a barroom brawler. And get on the bike, and once you get open, like on the open road, all that stuff, it's a big exhale that seems to, you just keep exhaling throughout the whole ride until you get back into a lot of traffic or stuff like that.